What's up, boxing world, and welcome to another edition of Fantasy Bout Hour, the channel dedicated to bringing you fantasy matchups on a regular basis. If there's a particular matchup that you want me to cover, I've got you. Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. Let's jump right into it. Canelo is a hot topic, whether you love him or whether you hate him, whether you're a fan or whether you're a critic. He's a hot topic. I do know that Canelo Alvarez brings out the worst in fans. For some reason, people get irate, and it's just hard debating people about Canelo. It's hard defending Canelo. It's hard being a fan of Canelo because, truth be told, you can't convince his critics. And to be fair, you can't convince me on some things. So, we all do it. But I do feel that some of the criticism may be a little bit over the top, saying that he's fought no one when he just fought a tremendous super middleweight. And Caleb Plant didn't become a no one until Canelo fought him. And so, Canelo would get accused of ducking certain fighters. And then when he fights them and he beats them, it's something else. And so, that's just one of those things that we as fans have to agree to disagree on. I think Canelo is a tremendous champion. I think he's accomplished a lot. And I know that there's fights that we want to see him in, fights like Charlo, Andre, and Benavidez seems to be at the top of that list. He seems to be at the top of it. So, which is why I made this video. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Benavidez. He's a tough, rangy, tall fighter who has tremendous power, tremendous hand speed, and he's tough. Someone referred to Benavidez as a killer, and I'm inclined to agree. But Canelo is a killer too, and Canelo is a more skilled killer. Now, being the fan that I am, I'll watch every big fight. I'll watch Canelo fight every time. And I would definitely watch this fight. But a lot of people act like Canelo owes these people an opportunity. Everyone wants a big payday. And so it's Canelo's responsibility to take care of everyone, to give everyone an opportunity. Now, that's not an excuse, or I'm not trying to let him off the hook for not fighting, for fighting, whatever. I'm not letting him off the hook whatsoever. But just look at this reasonably and look at this objectively. Canelo he gets criticized for his resume. And he's actually got some big names on his resume. Now, of course, we're quick to use arguments. When did he fight them? He didn't fight them at their best. He waited him out. He waited till Triple G got older, so on and so forth. And those things are totally subjective. He's got names on his resume. And at the end of the day, you can't fight everyone. You can't fight everyone. I'm sure that he'll be in the ring with at least one of those guys. I'm speaking of Charlo, Andre, and Benavidez in the near future. I wouldn't be surprised if a Benavidez fight was around the corner. I hope to hear no excuses if Canelo beats him. But let's get to the actual fight. As good as Benavidez is, let's talk about his defense. He pretty much walks his opponents down, which is a good thing. But a lot of times he's walking them down without any defense. And so he's walking them down. I'm speaking of the guys he's already fought. He's walking them down without respect for their power. He doesn't fear their power. He's not worried about their power. Do you think that will be the case with Canelo? Do you think he can just walk Canelo down? With Canelo being the sharpshooter that he is, being the accurate counter puncher that he is, just being the power puncher that he is, the guy is deadly accurate. Plus, Canelo has a chin. Canelo has great defense and a tight, high guard, which he loves to counter off of. Now, I'm not saying that Benavidez doesn't deserve the fight. He should get the fight. But just to say that, or to make it out to where he beats Canelo easily, I think that that's an emotional outlook on the fight. We all do it. I do it. My emotions get involved. So I'm not condemning anyone for looking at fighters emotionally. But realistically, objectively, do you think that Benavidez has a chance against Canelo? Now, he may be stronger than Canelo. He's bigger than Canelo. But Canelo has the skills. Canelo Alvarez has the skills. And Benavidez won't get away with doing the things that he's used to doing against Canelo Alvarez. It's just not going to happen. And I don't see how anyone is going to fight Canelo Alvarez without any defense. Now, for all of Benavidez attributes, defense is not one of them. He can take a good punch. Well, he's taken good punches thus far. But is he going to take that same punch from Canelo? The same shots he was taking from Davis. Do you think he's going to take those shots from Canelo Alvarez? Think about this. Now, I'm not asking you to, if you think Benavidez is going to win, I'm not asking you to abandon that. I'm just trying to get you to think for a second. Just think for a second. With Alvarez's experience, he's fighting at his best right now, peak performance. He fought an awkward fighter in Caleb Plant. Now, I knew he would win, but I knew that he wasn't going to walk through Plant. I knew that Plant, with his awkwardness, with his movement. And by the way, I feel that Caleb Plant is better than Benavidez. So styles makes fights. And the only fighters or type of fighters that Canelo has struggled with is slick fighters, technical fighters, and movers. But someone that's standing right in front of him, he's going to have a field day with them. He's going to have a field day with Benavidez. Benavidez squares up. Benavidez is one-dimensional, with all due respect. And I've never really seen David fight going backwards. He just comes forward and attacks, not taking anything away from him. If that's his style, that's his style. Every fighter has their strengths and has their weaknesses. I'm just trying to get us to look at this from a stylistic standpoint and be stylistically, or not stylistically, what's the word I'm looking for? Just be realistic. We'll stick with realistic. So this is boxing, where anything can happen. I'll give you that. David Benavidez could catch Canelo Alvarez with something crazy and put him to sleep. It happened. But overall, just taking into consideration, all the tools, all the skills. And Canelo has been tested. I don't care how much people hate him. He's been tested. So I take it that you see where I'm going with my prediction. I don't see David Benavidez making it out of 5 rounds. So I'm going with Canelo Alvarez by knockout inside of 5. Please let me know what you think. I'm sure that you will. And I will see you on the next video.